In this video, we're going to look at our itinerary tool and how you can use it to build event schedules or things like production timelines. So we're going to click into one of our events here in the main events page. And from the event dashboard, we're going to click on the itinerary tool right here. And here's an itinerary that I've already set up. For this particular itinerary, I've set up a 3-day itinerary. So you can set up an itinerary that spans 1 day or as many days as you need. And it is all going to be in chronological order. You can expand the items this way so that you can view all of the details inside of each item. Or you can simply click on hide details to make it look smaller. You can, first of all, add categories to your itinerary, so you can assign itinerary items to particular categories. I'm going to add a quick category right here called volunteer activities that I'm going to use here in a minute. I'm going to save that, so now I can add itinerary items to that category as well as the other ones I've created there. So I'm going to add my first item by clicking on the Add Item button. Here I'll add the item description as well as any notes that I want to add to the item. In the date and time area, it'll start off on the first event day, but you can place any date you wish in there. Here I'll put the start time and end time for the item. You can also set this to shift the items before this one a certain number of minutes earlier, or shift items that fall after a certain number of minutes forward. Here is where you can also set a reminder for this itinerary item, and I'm going to set it for 5 minutes before the start time, and anybody who I assign as a vendor or a contact will receive that reminder. So I'm going to attach some vendors who have already been assigned to the event right here. I'm also going to assign some contacts using the drop-down menu right here. These are contacts I've already assigned. If you need to add a new vendor, you can do it right there, or a new contact, you can do it right there. These are also venues that have been assigned to the event already, but if you need to add a new venue, you can do that right there. Finally, here's where you can add categories to the itinerary item. I'm going to add 2, so I'm going to add my volunteer activities category I just added, plus a setup category. You can save and add another item, or you can save and close, which I'm going to do right now. So it shifted the time on that one 30 minutes earlier, and here's the new item that I created right here. I'm going to open it up by clicking on the name, and once you click on the name, you can update the vendors, contacts, categories, venue, and you can update the reminder too. You can also upload a file that is attached to the itinerary item, and that way you can easily access this when you open up the item by clicking on the download button right there. You can also edit by clicking on the pencil icon, or delete it by clicking on the trash can icon. You can also move things around by just dragging and dropping this arrow. So say I wanted to move that, it's going to ask me what times I want to move that to. And if I want to shift anything, I'm just going to cancel out of this. So it'll move it right back to where it was. You can also use the checkboxes next to the items here. You can click on individual ones, or you can click on select all if you want to make mass changes to multiple items. For example, you can change the dates for multiple items this way. You can shift times forward or backward a certain number of minutes or hours for multiple items. You can add vendors and contacts to multiple items this way. You can also update the categories for multiple items, add them, remove them, whatever you need to do for multiple items. You can update reminders in bulk for multiple items. You can update the venue for those items, or you can simply delete multiple items right there using the delete button. Next, we're going to look at filters. So each one of these is a hot link. If I click on one of these, it's going to show me all of the items that have been assigned to that kickoff activities category. If I click on another category like volunteer activities, the one I just created, here's the one item that I added to that. You can also do this for your vendors. So anything that I've assigned to Sam Jones, here are all the items that I've assigned to Sam. If I click on Yasmin, one of my contacts, here are all the items that have been assigned to Yasmin. You can also filter by venue. So if I click on one of my venue spaces, here are all the items that have been assigned to that. And a nice thing is when you run one of these filters, you can download a PDF of all the items for a vendor or a contact or a space or room. So that's a great way to download the PDFs and send them off to those people. You can also use this filter field to type in a word or a phrase to filter for that in your itinerary. You can also add items via an itinerary template. So if I go to the templates area and click on itinerary templates, I can add an itinerary template by clicking on that button. And once I do that, I can come in here and start building an itinerary template that I can import into an event. This works basically the same as building out an itinerary. You can add items, you can add start and end times, you can shift items, you can set reminders, you can also tell the system to import items on the event date or a certain number of days before or after the event date, and you can assign categories, vendors, and contacts, as you can see right here. Once you've built out your itinerary template, you can then import it into an itinerary in your event just by clicking on the Import Export button and selecting this Import Template into Itinerary item. You can also save any itinerary you've built in the system already by clicking on the Save As Template and then adding the template name there. It'll just add it to your templates. Again, you can download a PDF of your itinerary, and basically it will just download whatever is in current view. You can place a list of vendors, contacts, and venues at the top, and you can also designate what items you want added. And then you can also download a CSV file of your entire itinerary also. You can use the share URL if you want to send that to somebody for a view-only look at your itinerary. So it's a great way to share it without giving somebody full access to the itinerary tool. Well, that's how you can use the itinerary inside of Planning Pod, but do let us know if you have additional questions.